Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PBL cast. Like a phoenix rising from the flames, it has returned. I am Evan, head coach of the Saffron City Sneasels.
And I'm your special guest, Dan, coach of the Viridian Forest Entei.
Jake did get into a motorcycle accident again, so he will not be here to join us.
He is now 3/5 of a Terminator. Ooh,
Yes.
Shit, can I say that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, he gets 3/5 of a vote.
Okay, well...
Off to a great start. So we are back for a PBL cast, and we're here to sort of wrap up the season as we have seen the first round of playoffs go. I believe everybody's locked in after the first round. We'll get to that later. But this has been a wild season.
To say the very least, for me especially, just looking at my team, the way my entire OU core switched 4 times, I think.
Yeah, you had maybe the most moves. Ian also had a lot of moves as well. And I think maybe it was like Zach or I think it was Raul had a lot of moves.
Mm-hmm.
I did not make too many moves. A lot of the big playoff teams did not make too many moves. They kind of knew what their team was going to be from the get-go. Honestly, this season was the season of hacks. I look to Ian in particular.
Can I get an F in chat, boys?
He got dicked so hard, so repeatedly. Oh man, he just got sock puppeted. And it's a shame.
You know what? For Ian, just for you, buddy, seeing how, we understand this season was rough for you, so we want to give you a moment of silence. Just kidding, fuck you. This is what you get for banking everything on a 90% accuracy move.
That was the Schultze Slurp Down Superior Edition.
Superior Edition.
Yes, that was... I've actually wanted to record stats on accuracy of moves, but it's just too much work.
Yeah.
Because you have to compile, the odds versus that specific move hitting. You can't just say this is how many misses they have.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to bet Ian's Superior probably hit about 65% of the time.
Man, I really now that you're saying this, I really want to. You know what? I might go back and do it myself because I'm actually curious.
At least for Superior, we can't do it for everything.
Specifically Superior, because it's every single time I look in Discord after a battle, I just see Ian go fuck and just realize that look, I guess Superior just missed something this week.
Yeah,
I wonder which one it was this week.
Ian, I think, was probably one of the most surprising seasons this year. And I think we should. We're going to do a bit of a season review for all of the teams. Yeah. We don't need to spend a ton of time on certain teams, but Ian's is one that I found extremely fascinating because just 1 or 2 seasons ago he was in the finals, and last season he made it to the playoffs, and then this season he finished with a very bad record. Yeah. And you can sort of point to the RNG, but that's not all of it. That's not the whole story.
Yeah.
He also just built a team that I don't think fits his play style.
It's my biggest thing was I'm just looking at because his first mega was he had Superior and his first mega was
Who was his first mega?
Oh boy, well there you go. That's exactly we don't even remember who it was. So looking at the fact that he has Mega Gyarados is kind of just like what synergy really does he have with this OU core?
He had Mega Alakazam at first.
Right.
And he does not like the frail hyper offense.
Yes.
He prefers bulky offense, and his team is not that bulky.
I mean, he has Chansey, the Fat Wall, Como-O, which that's, you can argue for some bulk there. Tentacruel and Donphan, but that's, I don't know. I mean, those are those bulky mons where just all the good walls are gone.
Also, Tentacruel and Donphan he added late in the season, and he actually started winning some games towards the end. He salvaged his end record. He was on pace to be in the Splash Show at one point.
Same.
Yeah, I think his Pyukumuku was a big mistake. He put a lot of effort into making that work, and it just did not. His Mesprit edition was very good for him, though.
Yep.
I think
How is that thing on you?
I know, it's just like a poor man's Mew. It's really good. There's another team that I thought had a very similar season arc to Ian, and that was Raul. Mm-hmm. Raul fought in the finals against me last year, and he, again, almost was competing for the Splash Show. Mm-hmm. He used bulky offense similarly to Ian. He kind of had a bend but don't break strategy, and this season he's taking very aggressive Pokemon like Mega Mawile and Salamence, and he, I think, struggled to find the way to make that work. He really relied on that Alamomola.
Yeah, which I guess.
I guess. I mean, it is bulky, but we know it's coming because he brought it almost every week.
So I think Raul's biggest thing this year was actually giving Salamence the fucking Z move. instead of just instead of giving him a bottle cap and then just goes, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, so that was really unfortunate.
Talking to Zach about Raul's team a little bit, Raul had the mentality of he doesn't want to run Sucker Punch on Mawile too much because it's too obvious. And the immediate counterpoint, well, yeah, because it's really good.
It's obvious because it needs it.
Yeah.
It has 65 speed?
Yeah. I mean, and every time I play this thing on Showdown or Battle Spot or whatever, I'm just going fuck, what do I do? Yeah. If I attack, I get smacked. If I stay passive, he sword stance, and I'm fucked.
It's not like he has a sticky web to sort of help his terrible speed either. So, yeah, his team, I think, was just kind of not what he was looking for overall. So, yeah, it was unfortunate for Raul. Your team,
my team,
I thought was very interesting. You started off really rough.
We, believe it or not, genning a Pokemon that requires 2 Pokemon to be fused after the gen and trade. Now, I know it's going to be crazy. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Kyurem Black was one of my favorite picks I made throughout this entire format. However, boy, is he an ass. He is just the worst to Gen 4.
I mean, just how much do you really want to commit every week to bringing this guy?
Exactly. When every single time I had to have Ian create this Mon, he would basically, him and I would have to take a step back and go, okay, what needs what to make sure Kyurem Black gets this? And EV spreads and all that, whatever. The biggest problem was, for 4 straight fucking weeks, I almost went into battle. I did go into one battle once without Fusion Bolt because I have to go to remove Reminder, give them a fucking heart scale, and then go give them this move. Otherwise, I did go into one battle, I can't remember who it was against, without Fusion Bolt.
I didn't know that.
I had 3 moves. And I'm like, oh shit. What do I do? So that was my, alright, you need to go. And then Ash Greninja, the Pokemon I picked out of just...
Oh, and now we get to it. This is the thing I really wanted to blow up about.
The fucking... I drafted you so no one else would have you, and I didn't know you counted as a Mega. I need to get rid of you now.
And I'm going to get rid of you to the team that already has Magearna. Thank you for that, Dan. Thank you.
Why are you so upset about that? Why are you specific?
I wonder why.
But
I can handle Magearna. I can handle Ash Greninja. Yeah. It's really difficult to handle the 2 of them together.
I made that trade for 2 reasons.
I'm going to ask you, Dan, to stop tapping the table because it's probably picking up.
Gotcha. I made that trade for 2 reasons. The first reason being, Zache made me a great offer.
Now, what did he give you again?
He gave me 5 Pokebucks. He basically had me get rid of Galvantula, which that was a fucking meme at the beginning of the season. Just fucking Rock Slide Galvantula, kill it, make it flinch, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was $5, Garchomp, Galvantula for Mega Blastoise because I had to have a Mega.
And then was it Garchomp?
Yes, and Garchomp. So that's a great fucking offer.
That is.
And I did that trade out of spite because I looked at his team and went, he has Magearna, and I hate Ash Greninja. These are the 2 Pokemon that I wanted to at least have a look at for getting banned. You guys immediately voted the potential vote for them to get banned, so you know what? Fuck all of you. This is what you get. Yeah. This is what you get for not letting me get my way.
And so that is Dan's trademark style.
I'm taking you all with me.
He will burn down the house even if he can't get out.
Exactly.
And to make matters worse, he was in our division. He makes it into playoffs, as I kind of expected. I heard Zache was very, very good at Pokemon.
Had an interesting, not great start to the season. Made that trade, and obviously, you see Ash Greninja and Magearna, and even if he doesn't bring either of them, you're still going. But what if he does, though? And
because you have to commit a lot of resources to be able to combat those things. Yep. You need to be bringing at least 2 checks for each of those things, unless you just have 1 perfect check.
Yep.
And it's just a real headache to plan for, and then you neglect other spots of his team. For example, I did that with Mamoswine. Yep. Although I didn't consider it neglect so much as I had nothing for Mamoswine on my entire 12-man roster. Mm-hmm. And that's one of those things where if I had caught that earlier, I would have made a free agency move in anticipation of that. But I didn't catch that because Mamoswine was on Ian's team for most of the season.
Yep.
So I didn't really piece it together.
Yeah, with my team, I made that trade and then fully committed to my my Rain Core.
And your Rain Core actually worked out really well for you.
It worked really well. My only thing that was really holding me back was no matter how good he is in the rain, I do not like using Tornadus T as much as I thought I would.
Oh, really?
My original draft plan was to get Zapdos.
Oh.
Zapdos was still on the board for some reason. I can't speak into reason why I decided to go with Tornadus.
Zapdos would have been great on your team.
Zapdos would have been fucking phenomenal on my team. And I'm just like kind of looking at my team right now as what could have been if I had Zapdos. Volcanion I didn't use as well as I should. I should have been scarfing him more than I did. I wanted that bulk instead. And then my boy Drip Heavy, Politoed, just brought the moisture every.
Politoed really impressed.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very reliable rain setter, and he took quite a few hits.
Yep.
He did some tricky things, and he hits pretty well under rain.
People sleep on him. I don't understand. Like, yes, I fully understand why everyone prefers Pelipper. He has Hurricane
and recovery.
And recovery. That's absolutely no. I completely understand it. But I'm looking at Politoed. Like, he has great bulk.
Yeah.
And that pure water typing is great when you have stuff like Cradilly for me or Rotom. Like, I have a lot of things that if I think that he's threatened, I can just switch into.
Your team, 8/12 of your team, I guess I could reduce that down to 3/4? Mm-hmm. 3/4 of your team has rain synergy.
Yep.
Which is bananas.
Yep.
So yeah, you really turned your season around at the end, but it just was too little too late. I'm excited to see what you're going to do next season. I guess I shouldn't say I'm excited. I'm dreading it. Because I'm sure it'll be trollish and memeish and frustrating.
Yeah, Hail Team. Get ready.
Yeah. I would love to see Hail Team.
Mega Bombasso's coming for your ass.
Now that you're going to waste your next slot.
Now that I have the freedom to draft Mega Bombasso, he's coming.
Moving through the rest of the teams, we don't need to spend a ton of time on everybody, but Greg, he had a difficult season this year, and the one thing that was just a huge eye-opener, he failed to bring all 12 Mons this season because he never once brought Metagross.
And I tried to trade for him.
I tried to trade for him too.
God damn it.
Metagross used to be an OU Pokemon. He drifted down to UU, and then he fell down to RU. He is such a bargain in RU. He has 600 base stats and a good typing. He just gets bullied out of the higher tiers by specific Mons.
He is literally the definition of, I just got, like, basically, those immigrants took my job.
Yeah.
These new Mons took my job, and now I can't do my job as effectively.
And then Dexit's gonna
See, I knew you and Scorbunny were destined for each other.
I mean, we're just patriots.
Yeah, exactly. We're just trying to do what's best for our country, okay?
And our working class.
Exactly.
That's what we care about.
Exactly. And you know, not the color of our wooloo.
Yes. So not bringing Metagross was insane. I think Greg probably didn't find a lot of time this season. He wasn't very active in Discord, and I understand that.
I will say this. Greg, you know, I'm going to give you so much props because of how you handled this season, because you did have a lot of, you know, time that you had to find to squeeze into it. This motherfucker pulled off on the side of a road, connected to his hotspot, and battled.
You're kidding.
No. Apparently, I think it was during Zach's battle, Greg was on a road trip, pulled over off of, like, the fucking exit and parked somewhere and did his battle in his car off of his mobile hotspot.
What a hero.
Right? So, like, no matter what, Greg, you the realist.
You the realist.
You the realist.
Also,
you an MVP.
What big dick energy compared to everybody else that had to forfeit at some point this season.
Right?
Like,
right.
Hey,
yeah.
He pulls off at the side of the road on a road trip and still gets his battle in.
Yeah, what kind of loser forfeits, am I right?
Ooh, sorry, Dan.
Yeah, well, you know.
Corey.
Yes.
was a new addition to our league this season, and he is in playoffs.
Yeah.
He has performed very well with a very non-traditional approach. He has relied on his low-tier Mons more than anybody else in the league this season. His Mega Scizor does not even qualify for MVP rating, even if it had a high score. He brought Terrakion, I think, 2 or 3 times. His Meloetta was brought a handful of times. He did bring his Zapdos a good amount, and he brought his Mimikyu almost every week.
Yeah.
But then he was relying very heavily on the Goodra, the Vaporeon, and sometimes the Cofagrigus or the Fortress So kudos to him. He made it work.
Coffagrigus was one of those mons that every time I hear after someone battle Corey, they go, fucking Coffagrigus is so annoying.
Mummy is so underrated. I love
it. It is one of those abilities that I forget exists, and then when I remember it exists, it's at the worst timing for me to remember it exists. I'm like, oh shit, that is a thing.
The dream that I've always wanted, but it is so hard to pull off, is to mummy something and then switch out, and then they have mummy, and whoever they hit will get mummy, and encourage them to hit
slacking,
and or Regigigas. Now that is so much work to make those low tier mods work.
It will never happen.
But if you did it, you would be a god.
You would love doubles. I'm kidding. His Vaporeon as well. Don't discount his Vaporeon.
Vaporeon's a great Pokemon. It's just there are so many good bulky water types that it gets bumped down to NU.
That is his favorite Pokemon, and talking to him, I knew the second I invited him to this league, I knew he was going to draft Vaporeon, and I told him flat out, I'm like, you better pick him this round, because if he's there next round, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
And he took Vaporeon, and motherfucker, dude, he did so well with that.
The dude also took Pikachu.
It's his favorite Pokemon. There's Vaporeon. It goes Vaporeon, then Pikachu, and
he brought it 1 week, and it got one kill. Yeah, it got a KO.
His name isn't Drew, Ian.
I don't get
it in the game. In game, the kanji for, I think it was like Cosmic or Cosmos or something was the actual nickname for it. It looked a lot like Drew.
Oh,
like the character is actually like I understand how he saw it, but
fucking weird,
right?
Moving on from that, we have the Sharpedo, which were dual coached this season by Brendan and Mike.
Now, when you say dual coached,
I mean one coach was out and one coach came in.
You make that sound very way cooler than it actually was.
Brendan had a very unfortunate season. His life, I think, really took priority over the league, and he was not able to give the time necessary to the league. Yeah. So Mike was nice enough to take over and pilot the team, and I feel really bad that he has to play in the Splash Show now.
I don't.
I'm personally of the opinion that because he didn't build this team, he shouldn't. The team should be exempt, or we should have Brendan do it if he can make it to the event. But I don't know if that's happening.
Well, so then if we take him out, then that means Jake has to do it.
Yeah, which Raul. He won't do.
Yeah. So no, Raul, you're battling for the Splash Show.
There we go. Hey, Raul, you heard it here first because I know you're going to listen. Chris is another one of our newcomers, courtesy of you, Dan.
Hi.
And he put together a very strong team this year, and he was a very he was one of our I'd say one of the top threats of the league. Mm-hmm. He did one thing that really upset me, though, which is that he did not nickname any of his Pokemon.
Yeah, I will back him up a little bit on this. You know, obviously, nickname your fucking Pokemon. But I did tell him that he would have to nickname his Pokemon in the overall text that I sent him about the league. Mm-hmm. And no one really reiterated that to him. So I will take, half responsibility. I should have made that clear.
I'll give you a fraction because we told him after week 1 and he continued to not name his Pokemon.
Yes. So, at that point, I'm like, up until that point, that's on me. But he was told. So
that's okay.
We're doing the finger shame.
We're doing the finger shame. And I talked to him earlier today, actually. He will be coming back, and I hope he starts nicknaming his Pokemon.
I'm excited to see how Chris does. Well, you know what? No, I'm not, because I'm in his fucking division. I'm not excited to see how he does. Because I've been battling with Chris for, 6 years now, I think. We met in high school, and we started playing Pokemon, sophomore year. He's good. The only thing is he doesn't know this format.
Yeah, and you can see that with some of his picks.
Bulu Lando. But I think with this experience that he had, he's going to come back with some... He's going to clap cheeks next year, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I expect him to be very good, and honestly, we can't keep shaking up the divisions, but I wouldn't mind a little bit of a conference redistribution of strengths.
Please.
Well, because not just cancel, but the Western Conference.
Free me.
We had, I think the top 4 records in the league in our conference.
Yeah.
So, or maybe the top 3. I think we had the top 3. And then there was one other team. I think it was either Zach or Corey had the other one at the top 4. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see a bit of a rebalance, but at the same time, I don't want to have to do that every year.
We can't keep doing this.
We can't. We really can't.
We literally went into this season going, this is it. We're not going to change again. And now all of a sudden we're like, okay, well, this is very one-sided. We might have to, but...
Right. I would prefer not to, but if we could just swap one team, because we are losing some people. Mm-hmm. So that is a perfect opportunity to rebalance things. But I'd like to keep most of what we have the same, because we are starting to build rivalries, and that's cool.
Yeah. coming for you, Raul.
Next up, we have Jake's team. And Jake's team, Jake did not put in a lot of effort this year. And that's just, you can just say that pretty plainly. Yeah. And he will not be returning as a battler next year, but he does want to stay involved in the PBL in some capacity. So look out to see what Jake wants to do next year. Don't expect it to be a podcast, though.
Yeah, well, we call him out. I am happy that the Jake Dan rivalry ends on 2-2.
Yeah, that's true.
We are completely even, which I feel like I'm totally fine with.
I heard he got big revenge on you in the last match.
He did. So for context, last season, I had the win in the bag. Like it was definite. I had Z Darmanitan for the first time my entire season because going into that season, I'm like, man, what's the point of even Z moving? It's stupid. And I brought Z. I bought Z in Flare Blitz with Darmanitan, and he had his, I think it was Salamence on like 5 HP. And I Z Flare Blitzed him.
And I believe you specifically started like chatting him, like an All Might quote, and just all capsed him. Yeah. So he finished his match against you doing the exact same thing.
He finished his match doing that, and then he messages me, hold on, I gotta find the fucking message, because he just goes, I just sent GG like when I knew the battle was over, and he goes, Dan, I love you, buddy. But in regards to last season, it's time. Detroit, Texas, Delaware smash.
Fantastic.
Fucking corkscrew crashes me. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I love it. I love seeing that kind of shade thrown around in the league.
Yeah, this is why we need rivalries.
Yes. Our commissioner had a very interesting season.
He did.
He looked destined for playoffs. And did he make playoffs? I forget. He did make playoffs just barely, but he had a big fall off towards the end.
Yes.
And I believe he got bumped in the first round.
He stole Raul's core last year.
Yes, he did. The Tapu Fini Expedio core, which is a very good one.
Yep.
And he used his team to pretty strong effect. I think that leaving Alolan Persian as his Zmon for the entire season was a bit of a mistake.
Z parting shot's great.
It is.
It's very predictable. That's part of the problem, but then that's like it's back to like the Sucker Punch Mawile thing. It's predictable because it's really good, but at the same time, like, what else does Persian do?
Yeah, it'll be good in our possible off-season event, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the episode. So yeah, Nick's season was pretty solid, and I think this was the first year he didn't make playoffs. I don't remember.
He's in playoffs.
Oh right, sorry. He's in playoffs. Excuse me, Nick.
Yeah, well, he had a huge erection for speed-lowering moves.
Yes, he did.
I don't understand it.
And that was combated by his very small erection.
Yeah, and very, very small. And I decided to clap him back with a Rock Tomb Cure in Black.
He loves that Rock Tomb.
On Beedrill.
Casey, his season did not go too well for him. He drafted 2 4 ground weak Pokemon to start the draft off, and because of that, he often did not bring both of them together.
Yeah.
I don't think Casey will be participating in our newest off-season event, but he said he will be focusing on the branding of our league, so look out for that next year. I had I'd say a pretty good season. I finished, overall, I think I was in first place.
Stop trying to bring this humble man of the people persona. We all know what you fucking are.
I know.
You fraud.
This was the most balanced, or I'd even say slow-paced team I've ever played with. I usually like to favor hyper offense, and I think because of that, I felt like my team stagnated at times, where like I could pull out a win very quickly against other teams. This one, it was like, well, I'm gonna take this to 45 turns.
God, I fucking hated fighting your team.
Between my Lodic, Delmise, Jirachi, and surprisingly, Hydreigon actually has a lot of bulk. I was able to make that work very well, and Mega Charizard had a fantastic season. But I wouldn't expect to use probably any of these Pokemon again.
You had one great nuclear deterrent, and that was Ditto.
Yes.
Go ahead and
set
sweep
up
on me.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
And it did exactly what I wanted it to. I only brought it like 3 times, but you know that it can come. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Ian, we already talked about him. Moving on to Amber.
God,
she drafted the perfect stall core. Like, literally, you could take this team onto the OU Showdown ladder.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you know stall is coming, it's easier to play around than if you know hyper offense is coming.
Can we just insert the GIF of Donald Trump saying "thick" about this team.
It's so beefy.
Because it fits on two different terms. One, she built a great wall, and two, boy, these bitches thick.
Yeah, they are all ladies except for Passimian, which is...
Oh, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, she picked up Passimian later on and named it Zabumafu. Yeah, like, honestly, like, and I don't think she actually played poorly. It's just when you know Stahl's coming and you know almost exactly what the Mons are going to be, you can sort of play around it the way you cannot do with Hyper Offense.
I remember at the draft, she had a list of literally every Pokemon she drafted.
She got like 10 out of 12.
She got basically everything she needed. And looking at her team, yeah, they're all bulky, but she does have those really good like offensive threats like Bisharp, Zygarde, Feraligatr, and Emboar.
Yeah.
She does have those people that hit hard, and Sylveon. Like, it's just when you look when you know Stahl's coming, it's easier to prep for.
Yeah, it is.
So,
I think for future seasons, she'd be better off taking like half of that Stahl core, and then finding some like adjustable low tier mons that can fill gaps, and then taking some more high tier offensive Pokemon.
Don't help her.
Sorry, because I know she's still gonna want to favor some Stahl. Cheryl had a fantastic start to the season, and she just barely missed playoffs. I think part of it was that she was in our tougher division. She did a very good job with Mega Venusaur, who is an MVP candidate.
Queen Bean.
Also, Volcarona was very strong, the Mothman. I do think that she underutilized Tapu Koko. I think Tapu Koko is a top 3 pick in our league, and she used him in a very passive way.
Yeah.
I think that would be my one critique of her season this year.
When I played her, that was my biggest concern because I was always going, oh, yeah, he has Grass Knot. Oh, yeah. He has Grass Knot. He's going to fuck up Swampert. And it just kind of was there, I felt, for that match. And she had a lot of... I really like her team. But yeah, like you were saying, there was the Tapu Koko was just way more passive than I would have assumed it would be.
Yeah. She was very upset about losing to you. She was like, I do not want to lose to Dan. Help me, God. Anything else?
Wow.
She was prepping in the house. She wrote on the notebook, do not fucking lose to Dan.
Wow. What the fuck?
I figured I'd share that.
What the fuck, Cheryl?
I mean, you've got a big mouth.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, Dan's bad. Don't lose him.
No.
Okay.
It was more of a big mouth. I don't want to have to hear it from him.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, God damn.
And she's coming back next year, and I expect her to do very well.
Yeah. Cheryl's good.
She's very good.
She's very good.
And she's actually pretty new to competitive battling, so she's picking up very fast.
So I've heard, and that pisses me off.
Yeah. Like, she started competitive battling last season. That was her first time trying it.
That makes me upset. More upset than it should.
The sky's the limit for her. Jacob has built an almost flawless team, I would say.
Jesus Christ, it's so fucking annoying.
He has understood what makes a draft Pokemon successful, and he has capitalized on that every step of the way. Mew, Infernape, Porygon 2, Smeargle, all of those Pokemon are so high on my list for draft league Pokemon because they're so versatile. They can do so many things, and in this season or in this league, you want to be able to mix it up every single week.
I think you're discounting my favorite pick that he had, Mega Altaria.
Mega Altaria did great.
Because that thing can literally do anything. It has Cotton Guard, it has Dragon Dance, it can run a special set, it can do whatever the fuck it wants.
That's very true.
It can even be a Cleric, it has Heal Bell.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is, his team, when I forfeited against him, life happened. But, like, I was looking at his team, and I'm just like, what the fuck did any of these do? Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking at every single... I looked at a moveset of all of the fucking Pokemon, I'm like, everything has grass coverage!
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit!
Now that I've seen the results of the first round of playoffs go through, I expect Jacob to be the favorite. I think he was already probably one of the highest, most likely people to be favorites.
Yeah.
I was expecting me and him to be near the very top. Mm-hmm. My getting bumped from the playoffs was unfortunate, so I do expect Jacob to take this season.
How does it feel to be mortal?
I don't like seeing blood.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would bleed.
All that for a drop of clout.
We got 2 last teams to talk about. We have the Zach and Zashay combo. Zashay, his team, he has Magearna and Ash Greninja. What else do you want to say about it?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
And then Magic Bounce is great in a draft league. Sticky Web Galvantula is great in a draft league. Slowbro is a huge value pick for a tank. And then he used Mamoswine and Hippowdon very well this season.
Yes. His team That, you're welcome, everyone. His team is fucking gross.
I didn't even mention Celesteela, which can do like a lot of things.
Yeah, he ran fucking Automatize or whatever, and ran an offensive Celesteela, and I'm like, wait, hold up. And, like, I just see it use Automatize, I'm like, stop! You violated the law!
Yeah, I think against me, he ran a weakness policy Celesteela.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
which is very scary.
Yeah.
And he's still in the mix, and I think he's going to give Jacob a very tough match.
That's definitely going to be a match that I really want to see.
I'm curious to see how Jacob's going to try and counter the Magearna Ash Greninja power combo. He's been relying very heavily on Smeargle, so I expect some Smeargle shenanigans again. Shenanigans. Finally, we have Zach, who got the first pick in the draft and chose Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele...
Shocker.
Yeah, I know. Tapu Lele and Mega Lopunny have been outstanding this season. They are both in MVP contention, and Zach has had a very good season, which I expected from him.
His team is very, very solid. Lele just does so much fucking damage.
Rotom, he loves to be paired with Ferrothorn as well. And then he added more bulk with Gligar through the midseason trade with me. Suicune is... I personally don't like how passive it is, but I respect how defensive it is, and it is very defensive. He
has a very interesting Dragon Fairy Steel core here with Lele, Ferrothorn, and Flygon. I do like Flygon as a defensive-ish dragon.
I think it's a good budget Dragon Dancer.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And Scarper.
It's literally discount Garchomp.
Yeah.
It's literally what it is.
So yeah, he put together a great team, and he's still in the playoff hunt. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen between him and I believe it's Corey. So no, it's not.
It's Nick.
Oh, Nick beat Corey.
Spoilers.
I guess I misread the.
I think they did.
Let me check the. Sorry to do this while we're recording.
Yeah, we're doing it live. Fuck it.
We're doing it live.
I'm like 90%
I did not touch that woman.
Ooh, yikes.
I mean, we're talking... Hey, I'm controversial. I'll say what everyone's thinking.
I'll say what... I'm just being real.
I'm brave enough to take down Bill O'Reilly. I know everyone else is afraid to. Okay, announcements. This is where it should be.
I don't know...
So we've got Zach versus Nick. Yes. Yep. Wow. Okay, yep. Zach versus Nick.
It was 6-5, so it was very close. But...
Yeah. All right, so Zach versus Nick. I'm going to... Because we talked about all the teams, now I want to do some playoff projections.
Yes.
I think
you are going to beat Zach.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think I'm going to pull it off.
I'm going to run this joke into the fucking ground, and I hope you know that.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, as of the day after I got bumped from playoffs, I started working on a GBA team.
Yeah, and
so I'm very excited for... I'm not going to let this happen twice in a row.
I'm not looking forward to that.
So we've got the Snow Point City Stantlers, led by Jacob, taking on Pastoria City... Porygon Zeds. There we go.
There you go.
And I think that's going to be a very close match. I do think Jacob will pull that one out. And then on the other side of it, between Nick and Zach, Nick has surprised me again and again, but I do think Zach will take that one. So I think we're going to be looking at Jacob versus Zach in the finals.
Zach, I feel like no. Well, actually, you know what? No. Yes, offense, Nick. Fuck you. I think Zach is just is the lock in there. But then again, when I made my drunk predictions, I was wrong about almost every single one of them. So I really like Zach's team, Zach's team, going up against Jacob. Not discounting Jacob here, but I just love the team that Zaché's built. So I'm gonna say Zachet and Zach.
We're gonna get double Zachs.
Yeah, it'll be battle of the Z's.
That would be exciting to see.
Yeah.
It would also be cool to just see new blood. They're new blood. They are both newish teams. I think Zach played for half a season last year when he took over.
Yes.
And it was not his drafted team. So it'd be cool to see two new bloods go to the finals.
And then, so I want to also point out that right now we do, discounting Nick here, we have 3 of the playoff teams were the top 3 teams in the draft order.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
Mew was one of those picks where I'm like, how is he not number 1 overall every fucking year other than Lele and Magearna?
And he finally was.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, we did our little playoff outlook. I just want to talk about 2 last things before we wrap up today. I want to give a quick breakdown on the MVP leaders after the end of the season. They're not in any particular order, but these were all the highest qualified Pokemon that have ranked at the end of the year. I believe to qualify, we were saying it was 2/3 of the games had to be attended. Mm-hmm. We have the Tapu Lele from the Hoopas.
Shocker!
Averaging 32 points a game. 3C's, the Mega Lopunny, also from the Hoopas, is averaging 26 points a game.
Yeah.
Parunga, the Thunderous T from the Stantlers, averaging 32 points a game. And then also from the Stantlers, Nimbus, the Mega Altaria, averaging 32 points a game. Queen Bean, the Mega Venusaur, is putting up 32 points a game. And this is, I think, 2 or 3 straight seasons where it has been a contender for MVP.
As well it should be.
Amber's Couch Potato, the Toxapex, is putting up 27 points a game. And almost all those points were from one massive game that they carried.
I don't know if she can hear me, but God... someone next year draft Toxapex so Amber doesn't get it again, please.
And then finally, to my surprise, LeCharles, the Mega Charizard X, leading the pack in MVP rating with 33 points a game.
So that's the top 5, right?
That's the top. I think I read 7. There are 7.
Oh, okay. So we went to 7 just so you can name one of yours. Okay.
Well, mine's number 1.
No, just making sure. You know. Yeah.
No, if you want to take that perspective with me, that's fine. I think you're just digging yourself deeper into a hole.
Do you know who I am?
You were born in the darkness.
I was born in the darkness.
I was born in the darkness.
I was born in this shit pile I dug myself.
So we're going to have a voting system from here on out because it's going to be, like, just numbers alone aren't enough to tell the tale.
Yeah.
So people are going to make cases for why their Pokemon should qualify, and we'll see what ends up happening at the finals.
Politoads deserves the MVP.
He might qualify for low tier, Mon.
He brought the moisture.
Yeah, he brought the moisture. Finally, I just want to talk about one last thing, which is going to be the off-season.
Yes.
We have talked and we have decided that the off-season event will be a small draft league experiment. It will be a draft league using a new tier system, the GBA tier system.
I am so fucking excited.
I actually really like this tier system. It does ban out a few things that are currently legal in our league. Tapu Lele, Ash Greninja, Magearna. Ha ha ha.
And imagine that.
I think maybe Mega Mawile as well.
It's banned Mons. I literally just have it here. Omni boosting Z-moves.
So no Komodo, Zeum, or whatever it's called. Claimers.
The Megalottes.
Interesting.
Lele, Greninja, both Battle Bond and Protean.
But you can use regular Greninja.
You can use Torrent Greninja, yes. Mega Mawile are all banned. However, Blaziken, Landorus I, Sandforce only.
And Blaziken, no speed boost.
Blaziken, no speed boost. Lando I, Sandforce only. Mega Kangaskhan, no seismic toss.
Yes.
And Zygarde, 50%, are all legal. Those Mons in particular, with those restrictions, I mean, looking at Landorus I without...
Sandforce?
Without Sheer Force.
He gets Sandforce.
Yeah, without Sheer Force, that Mon is just... it's in Tier 2.
Yeah, it's Tier 2.
It's
Blaziken without speed boost is Tier 4.
Tier 4, which... gross, but...
The one thing... There are two things I really like about the GBA tier system. Mm-hmm. One of them is that your last 4 picks, you get to buy with your currency. And
it doesn't have to be your last 4.
It does not have to be your last 4.
You can draft them whenever you want.
That's true. But it's formatted like they're in your last 4 because you have to have like one of each tier. You actually get 2 tier 3s, but there's 5 tiers. You get 1 of each tier, 1 extra tier 3, because I think there's just a lot of tier 3 Pokemon.
There's a shit ton of tier 3.
And then after that, you have 4 slots, so you're only using 11 Mon. You get 1 Mega that does not cost against your currency.
Yep.
If you take a bad Mega, you get extra currency, which is so cool.
Mega Obama Snow!
You are rewarded for trying to use bad Megas.
Yes.
Which is really fascinating, and it can open up a lot of cool strategies with some things you'd normally never see play, which is what a draft league's all about. And then the final cool little addition is that you get 3 Z-Mon. You get a Z Captain who can use any Z move, and then you can get 2 Z attackers that can only use attacking Z moves.
Yep, that is what I'm really excited for, because I feel like 1 Mon limited is 1 Z-Mon limited really constricts what you can do.
Yes. Like I look at a Lowland Persian, I love that strategy, but I don't want to have that be my whole season.
As a Z Captain?
Yeah.
Great.
Because then you got your 2 attackers, and then when you bring it, you can slap it on there if you want.
Yep.
And they don't automatically have to assume it is on there.
Yep.
Because that thing can use like leftovers or whatever. So it's really exciting, and it's going to be, I think, like an 8-game season. We're going to have some newcomers join the league and try out this season. If we like it, we're probably going to switch to GBA, and if we don't, we'll just return to our old format.
Yeah.
I expect us to like it, though, honestly.
It's definitely going to be... I mean, honestly, it's very similar. The only thing is the tiers will be different.
They just rebalanced it for Draft League, and I think they did a good job rebalancing it.
They did a fucking fantastic job.
Like certain things like Necrozma is in Tier 1.
As it should be, because that thing hits like a fucking Mack truck. That thing being RAU is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like looking at a lot of the things that... I had an example, and it's escaping me here. The tier 1 mons, like Azumarill and such, makes sense there. Like a Pokemon like Blissey being tier 3 makes a lot more sense than having it be, because what's it now right now? It's UU. There are a lot of, value is this tier list's biggest strength.
Yes.
Is because every Pokemon in each tier has value. When there are a lot of Pokemon in like UU and RU where it's like, this thing's fucking useless in our league.
And on the other hand, like I've taken Milotic in, I think, 2 or 3 straight seasons, and Milotic is now tier 2 where it should be in a draft league.
Yes, and not RU.
I would still consider taking it in tier 2, but like it's an RU, so like it's such a steal there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting things. I recommend anybody that's going to be participating in it to check out the tiers. There's a lot of cool stuff, and I think we will adapt the system.
Yeah,
but we're going to give it a fair shot, and if we don't like it, we'll be honest about it.
Yeah,
we'll do a vote.
Even if we don't like it, we can tweak.
We can take parts of it if we want to.
Yeah.
One other cool thing is the way you can buy your Pokemon at the very end or whenever you want to. It's perfectly worked out, so you could afford 2 tier 1s and 2 tier 5s.
Yep.
Or you could afford 2 tier 4s and 2 tier 2s or 4 tier 3s.
Math is fun.
They did a good job of balancing it.
Yeah. There is one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of that this league allows, and that's Baton Pass.
Yeah, but you cannot Baton Pass speed plus another stat.
Yes, which makes up for a lot of it, but I'm still, I'm not gonna stand up on a soapbox for this one, but I just really don't like, because I remember the days of Baton Pass being legal. I agree. It fucking
I was not a fan of Baton Pass because it's just like chasing one little carrot, and if you can catch that carrot, you win. But if you just cannot beat them, the game's over.
It's just Quidditch, but there's only the golden snitch.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Because they're going to have those boosts, and you just got to hope that you can anticipate who's getting the boost, and you have an answer for this boosted new Pokemon that comes in. So only being able to pass speed plus a stat, or just other stats, no speed, it's going to make it less crazy. Yeah. So I'm cool with it. We'll see how it plays out.
I'm excited. I'm very, very excited about this format in this offseason.
I am too. I believe we have one more round of playoffs, and we're going to have our finals. The finals will be hosted by you again.
Hi.
We will be at July 7th, and that's a Sunday.
Yep.
Cool. So we will see everybody there. Hopefully you've heard this episode by then.
Well, yeah.
We'll see.
To all 4 of you who actually listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, Raul, are you ready for a fucking Requiem? Are you ready for a fucking Requiem? That's a timed reference that is probably not going to sit well.
Nick, edit this quickly, or just put it up quickly.
Yeah, Nick, hurry up. Nick, hurry up.
Nick, hurry up. We're going to do it now so you can do it now.
We're not paying you anything to not just sit around. Hurry up.
We're getting our royalties from the advertisements, and you're getting nothing.
Sponsored by PNC Bank, by the way.
Thank you, PNC Bank. Bank with PNC. Goodbye.
Yeah.